Hello, my name is Joe Nguyen and I'm the Director of Starlings Gifts Limited. We're a small art and craft collective based in Bexhill on Sea. We make things. So in this time of national emergency and with the help of 30 volunteer sewers, we are making 1,000 emergency face masks. These masks have been earmarked for non-medical key workers such as carers, charities or volunteer organisations, people working in shops or drivers working with the public. The clinical N95 face masks, which are in global demand at the moment, should be reserved for our NHS frontline medical staff. But we hope that our masks will be helpful to key workers who also may need some personal protection. Let me stress before we start, we are not face mask manufacturers or air filter media specialists, and our masks have not been approved by any government bodies. Time doesn't allow for this. But we have done a lot of research and are working with a UK manufacturer of filter media with our design. All our masks are washable and reusable and include a certifiable filter which is then replaceable. The filter can filter out particulate matter down to 2.5 microns. But please be aware that the COVID-19 virus is only 0.1 micron in size. So these filters cannot remove 100% the coronavirus. There's growing evidence that a face mask is, however, an effective way by which asymptomatic wearers can help limit their own spread of the virus. But wearing a mask does not guarantee you will avoid getting the virus. That's really important for you to understand. So please do not be led into a false sense of security by wearing them. Government design specifications of PPE face masks state that their purpose is to limit the wearer from spreading harmful particles onto other people and not the other way round. I should add that you wear them at your own risk, and all organisations must take their own clinical judgments as to the use of these masks. We also stress that the use of these masks is not intended to replace government guidelines for good personal hygiene of washing hands and observing social distances. So, I'm going to explain how we put on and wear the mask, and then explains a little bit about how we chose the design that is the most effective, we think, in our opinion. So, to the mask, we stress always wash your hands before and after putting on and taking off these masks. Okay, so you will receive your mask in a silk bag like this. The masks have been washed, but we advise that before you use them for the first time, you put them in a high temperature wash at 60 degrees or above. They're 100% cotton, and inside we include 2 filters with each mask. But do not put the filters in the wash. This is the crucial bit to the mask here. It's a 5-layer membrane including a carbon filter. It should be replaced after a maximum use of 72 hours. If you are working in a high-risk environment, we advise you to replace them as often as you could. However, there are shortages of these filters in the world, so we can only advise what you think is best for your staff. We're sorry that we can't supply more than 2 filters per mask. We are currently working on replacement stocks, so as soon as we get more and stuff, then we will contact you about this. So once you have the mask, you need to get to know the mask a little bit. So take some time to do this. Open it up and get it out. Put the filters aside. Wash it. Yeah. But once you've washed it and stuff, you then will just see how the mask is designed. There's a front part at the front, and there's a back pocket back here with a filter pocket where the filter media goes into. The front of the mask distinguishes for the top here has a curved notch where the nose sits, and also if you're in doubt, you can feel it here, there is a nose bridge wire as well for you to actually adjust to make it a tighter seal on the nose. So take some time to do to look at this thing and know how to put it on and stuff like that. And we'll show you now how to put it on. Right, the mask comes with either an elastic tie or a fabric ear tie here, and there's a channel in there where you can thread in different ties as well, or longer lengths of fabric that you could tie around the back of your head. I know that doctors and nurses who have to wear these masks all day and stuff like that, it can hurt the back of the ear, and so they customize that. And also by tying it to the back of the head and the back of the neck here, it creates a stronger seal on the face itself. However, we only just provide these so for your comfort and use, but you can customize it to make it better. Okay. If you want to replace these with other strings and ties and stuff like that, there's a channel in here, and you just either use the string here, thread it through and pull it through, and then you can tie it how you want it. Okay, once you're happy with this, we suggest that you get out the filter membrane. We call it the filter media, and on the inside of the mask itself there's a filter pocket where you can put the filter media between the front of the mask and the back of the mask. Okay, it's important here that you position the filter inside the mask so it is sitting directly in front of your nose and airways. By breathing via the filter media, you are filtering out harmful particles. There's no point in having a mask if the air is still coming through at different parts and not passing through the filter media. What we've learned in the last 2 weeks since starting this campaign is that a mask is only as good as the filter and the seal you make of it around your face. So now you put it in, but only after you've washed your hands, of course. Always wash your hands before and after putting on the mask and stuff like that. So I'm putting the filter media in now. I'm just sliding it along and seeing where it sits. And like I said before, getting to know your mask, to get familiarised with mask, because each individual is slightly different in terms of their face, and so therefore we ask them to get used to it so they know how it sits, get it comfortable and stuff like that. So in this situation here, I've just put it against and I've pressed the nose bridge in just to make a nice comfortable seal on there. And I know that my nose is just underneath there, so I need to position the filter media slightly higher to actually cover the part where my nose is and where I'll be breathing the media through. Okay, we normally advise that it sits at the very top here, not at the very top of the mask here, but just slightly down from it, so it has a way of curving over the top of the nose a bit here, so that it sits over the top of your nose like that here. Okay, so if you think that is a good enough place for it, where most of your airways is going to be, you then just hold it to your face, put in, tie it around the back there, and then press the nose bridge, and that's essentially the most simplest form of the mask. At the moment, in this condition, we say it has a maximum 60% filtration, and there is, as you can see as I'm talking, there is potential for little gaps to appear at the top here, and if I breathe very, very hard, sometimes my glasses do steam up. Yeah, and that is a sign that the mask is not effective in stopping airflow that's going through the filter media rather than somewhere else, because air always travel the path of least resistance. So that was the basic form of the mask, and you can use it as it is like that, but at this particular time of the coronavirus, we recommend that you try to improve the seal on the mask to make it a better seal, and also that the air actually passes through the air filter as much as possible. So some health professionals in the USA are making this additional modification to this type of mask to improve the seal. Now you need to purchase the double-sided skin tape, medical grade, sometimes known as wig tape or fashion tape. Be aware of the allergies and various other things on it. You can get this from most online retailers such as Amazon and eBay. It needs to be able to stick to the skin. Read the warning on the back. It does contain silicone and other stuff, so please check your allergies for the staphyl allergies to this thing. Okay, right, so once you have this, you need to cut them, cut the tape for the mask to roughly the same size as what the filter dimension. There's roughly about 12 centimeters, 14 centimeters by about 7 to 8 centimeters in dimension. So you need to cut the length of the tape to those rough dimensions there. Give enough extra so that it forms a better seal all the way around. Okay, then what you need to do is then follow the outer line of where the filter is, and you can feel it through the actual fabric itself. You can feel the media and stuff like that underneath here. And you want to create a seal now all the way around the filter, all the way around, and so that when you stick this to your face, it will make a very, very good seal to your face, and so that when you breathe, air is only passing through the filter and not via any other gaps that might appear on there. So I'm just going to go and try and do this. It's not as accurate as it is. Do take your time on this, because let me stress again, like, a mask is only as good as the filter and the seal around it, as it were. So, okay, so you cut these strips and stuff like that. I think the most fiddliest part is the nose bridge one. So I'm going to just do that a little bit at the end. I'm just going to place it down here. Follow where the actual bottom of the filter is and stuff, and then follow the verticals along there. Make sure you've got a bit of space between the filter and the fabric over here where the actual the sellotape is. So I feel along here, there's the edge of the filter. I stick the halfway, so the filter edge is there, and you've got a halfway in there from the silicone, double-sided tape, and the other half is the fabric, so that's that. And then, yeah, so make sure that the filter doesn't move around too much in there. It should stay in place as it does. And then this final bit here, make sure you follow and press it into to the nose area and make a tight seal. So you should have a mask with the filter in place with something that looks like this. Do take your time over this and make sure that it's right and that it makes a good seal with the filter media in there. And then, as you've already tried and adjusted it to your face and stuff like that, make sure any adjustments is then needed to do that, and then you just peel back the double-sided tape, which is a bit fiddly. Yeah, in fact, I have one that I've made earlier, and here's an example. This one's been used before as well. It is very sticky, so be aware of that when you're doing it and stuff like that. So when it fills off, like, you know, you make sure that you're ready to put it onto the actual face itself. So here it goes. And that's it. This one, now, I don't even need to use the hair ties behind the ear, but it is for extra comfort if you do. Because now that the actual seal is around your face, as you breathe, as you can see by when I breathe, it's actually sucking in the air in this area, which is where the filter is, and then hence you're increasing the efficiency of the mask, and the people, I'll take this off now, the people in, the health professionals in America have tested this mask with their modification in the hospitals, and they say that it is equivalent to N95 standards. Another improvement used in the USA by the Medical Research Hospital was to insert some HEPA filter paper, which filters down to 0.3 microns and therefore passes the US test known as the OSHA fit test. If you can't get HEPA paper, some hospitals are recommending vacuum bag paper. However, we have not fully tested this, and be aware that because HEPA paper is a very fine mesh, it can make breathing a bit more difficult. So do not attempt this if you have any breathing difficulties or if breathing becomes difficult. Okay, so taking off the mask, we recommend that you wash your hands before taking off the mask at the end of the shift or anything like that, because you don't know what harmful particles might have actually been attached to the front of the mask or on there. So always do that. We recommend that you put it along with your overalls, etc., to be washed at high temperature. So when you come home from your shift, to come in, wash your hands, take off this, put it in where you're going to usually do all your laundry and wash and stuff like that, ready to do your laundry. If you have used tape, peel it off very carefully. Also, when we forgot to say is when you take off the mask for the first time after using it with the tape, it is extremely sticky, and I would say that be careful so you don't tear or actually cause any burns and stuff like that when you do it. Do take some care, it does come off, but we tried it and it was quite painful. Okay, so if you use the tape, it's on the back of here, so you know, just take some time, peel it off, yeah, and then put it in the wash with all your other overalls and stuff like that. And then when you start with the new face mask, on a new day and new session, we also say take out the filter. Now to talk about a little bit about taking off the mask. Okay, so you've been wearing this for the day or doing your shifts, and then you want to take it off. Now it could be exposed. You could have them exposed to the coronavirus on the actual surface of the mask itself. So therefore, we urge you to take all care and wash your hands before you do this. And so, and then you then wash the mask afterwards too. Okay, so do be careful with this, and so then you take off, and so that now if you have spectacles and stuff like that, take them off, and try not to touch the front of the face, gently. Carefully take off the two earpieces at the back, and then you're ready to peel off the seal. If you have used the double-sided skin tape, then you can peel it off now. If you haven't, then you can just take the mask as it is. When you peel off the tape for the first time, it is extremely sticky and can hurt, so be careful as you're peeling back the skin. Try not to touch as many of the surfaces of the mask as you can, and so that you have a nice pull away from the face there. Okay, once you have this out here, you then carefully take out the filter. So we have the mask, you then put it in your laundry to wash it at high temperature, 60 degrees or above, and then after that, wash your hands. Wash your hands rigorously, make sure, because you've been touching the mask and stuff like that, that you're clean and ready to start again. So now I'm going to take a little time to explain how we came about with the design of the mask and why we chose this particular mask for our emergency mask campaign. So in front of me is an array of masks. They vary in their effectiveness in removing air particulate matter from the air. With these on the right here, in our opinion, we think being the least effective, and going up all the way through to these on the right, on the left here, an N95 grade mask. These here on the right here are fabric cloths. This is a handmade one, which is an imitation of a surgical mask, which is used in hospital by doctors and nurses, and it's a pleated design which spreads over the face, but there's no nose bridge. It's made of a thin, kind of like porous cotton material, and we don't think it is probably good at doing pretty much anything. There are other masks available in terms of design. This particular one takes the actual similar pattern to the Olsen pattern that we actually follow, but ours is longer and covers more of the mask, and also it has a filter pocket. This has a thicker material to the one, but again a very similar design in terms of having the actual face frontage here and the nose kind of like to cover the nose here. This has got a thicker material inside it. We don't really know what the material. We did try to rip one out, and we found that inside it wasn't a filter material, but another kind of thick layer of like cotton weave or something like that. And then next we come to this one. This is a standard kind of like DIY dust filter mask. This has been molded with a filter paper media to a certain degree of filtration, probably larger particles of like 0.10 microns. Well, the good thing about this, and better than these, are the fact that it comes with a nose bridge, and hence this is now an advancement in the design, because they start to include a nose bridge, which then holds and molds the actual mask at the top here much better to the face and prevents breakages in seals where airs could just come in. And this is a surgical mask that it's a disposable one. It's widely used in hospital and clinical environments and stuff like that, and it has a nose bridge. It's made of a 3-ply non-woven blown melt material. It's disposable, and it's clinically used because it helps to infection control, and they're cheap to make and they can be thrown away. However, it will not filter out the coronavirus, but it is effective in preventing the wearer from passing any harmful particles to others, and also from maybe large particles such as those from coughs or sneezes. There's a high demand for these, and the general public are advised not to buy these, as they should be reserved for the NHS. Next we have a Respo type mask with a valve on it. It has a filter that you can take out and wash, and wear. These again has a very good tight seal and a nose bridge on it. The filter material is washable, but it also is of a good quality, and we would recommend this as a good everyday general public use one. Okay, this is our mask here. We rate it along this line here in between these two here, but I can talk to you about a little bit about that a little bit later on. This is an FPP2 mask with a valve at the front. It's a good face. It has a good face mold, which hugs the contours of the face. But this is not an N95 face mask, as this only filters up to 94% of air particulates. So the 95 signifies the percentage of filtration. It has a cushioning, it's comfortable, it has a double elastic as well. This is a certain improvement here on the single kind of like thing. Double elastic, so it then causes a greater bond, seal and comfort to the back of the head and make a tighter seal. These are disposable and again become less effective over time. There are huge demands for these in the general public. Again, we're not 100% sure on whether we recommend you using them or not, but they are very effective, up to 95% of removing air particulates from the air. This is an FFP3 N95 type mask. Again, this is disposable and will lose its effectiveness over time. The difference between this one and this one is the filter material is a better, and probably the seal is a better with their design. Again, there's a huge demand for this by the general public, and we have heard from leading manufacturers that they're making up to 1 billion of these at the moment. I'll just quickly demonstrate to you how effectiveness it is in terms of like having a good seal over the nose, a comfort over that, so they're again the same design as ours in terms of having a good seal. It has also a very good strong cupping underneath the chin here as well, which because of the size of our mask also does it, but we also remove that need because we create a effective tighter seal with double-sided skin tape. So, and then because you have the two straps as well, this is the recommended way of wearing them if you do want to customize our mask and have longer strides for comfort, to actually put it one over the top of the head there, and one at the back here underneath the ears around the back of the neck. So this then is a N95 mask, and basically, yeah, it does the job of filtering out 95% of the air particles in the air. So this is our emergency mask. We have based it on an Olsen design pattern, which is a standard pattern used all over the world. You can Google it and you can download it. It's quite a standard one. It has a pocket lining in it where we have put the replaceable filter in it. It also, we believe, it has a greater surface area for it to hug the face and the cheek to create a better skin tape seal around the mask here. We have added a customization to it by creating a nose bridge, because we think like this design and this design all have which improves the effectiveness of the comfort wearing nature and also how it holds the contour to your nose and form a good seal around the top of the nose there. So we believe that this is the best mask that we can do in the time that we have, with the materials we have available to us, and so we hope that you use it, again with all the caveat that we said before, and recommendations about using them, and do not be loading this false sense of security that this will prevent you from contracting the coronavirus. It's meant to really be there to protect you, the wearer, from maybe passing the virus to other people as well. That's it. All the information on our research is found in links below. We also include instructions on how to make these masks. We are a small art and craft collective. We are so grateful to the volunteer makers who have chipped in record time to make these masks for us. If you can help too, please let us know. We encourage you to set up your own local 1,000 face mask campaign. Get in touch with your local key workers, care homes and whatever, and ask them if they need these type of masks. Start making them. If you need any help from us in how to set it all up and stuff like that, get in touch with us. Again, all the information is there below. Do log on to our website, www.starlingsgifts.co.uk, where we can help, we will. Take care and stay safe.